Morning students, hope you all are fine at your home. So today we're going to discuss about the lichens and the mycorrhiza, which is the next topic in chapter 2. So let's get started with the lichens. So lichens are nothing but the symbiotic association of algae as well as fungi. So they help each other to survive in the nature. How? So I told you that lichens are the symbiotic association of algae and fungi. So in this association, the algal partner is known as phycobiont and the fungal partner is known as mycobiont. The algae, you know it very well, it contains several pigments like chlorophyll A, B, xanthophyll, etc. So they can prepare their own food. That means they are autotrophic. So algae prepare the food and provide to the fungi. And in turn, what fungi do a favor for the algae? Fungi provide various nutrients from the soil by absorbing it and provide to the algae. Clear? So these are the benefits which they are getting from each other. So I told you this is a symbiotic association. So symbiosis is a type of nutrition in which two partners associated with each other and they help each other. Okay, so this is a nutritional type. So here in this nutritional type, two organisms are associated, which are algae as well as fungi. Clear? So algal partner is known as phycobiont and fungal partner is known as mycobiont. Talking about their types, so the lichens are of three types. Number one is crustose, number two is foliose, number three is fruticose. Okay, so what lichens, how they are growing on a particular substratum. Substratum, you can say any kind of base on which the organism attaches or grow. Clear? So substratum is a kind of base on which organism attaches or grow. So crustose type of lichen, they are attached to the substratum at most of the places. Clear? They attach to the substratum at most of the places. So they attach to the substratum at most of the places. What about the foliose? They form a leaf-like structure which attaches to the substratum at fewer places. Clear? So they both form leaf-like structure, but crustose attaches to the substratum at most of the places, and in case of foliose, it attaches at the fewer places. The next one is the fruticose. So in this case, the lichens attaches to the substratum by means of a disc-like structure, you can say. Okay, so this is the basic difference which exists in three forms. Talking about their reproduction, so lichens, they reproduce by fragmentation, and we have already discussed what is fragmentation, that one organism separate into fragments and each fragment behave as a new individual. Next is Soredia. These lichens, they form these special structures, special reproductive structure which disperse by air currents. They are dispersed or taken to the distant places by air currents. So they find suitable substratum and they find suitable environment for the growth. So again, lichens are formed. So lichens forms these special structure, reproductive structures which disperse by air currents. On reaching a distinct places, they again find suitable places for the growth. Clear? So that's all about the reproduction of the lichens. Now talking about their importance. What are the importance of the lichens? Importance of the lichens. So first thing is, They are pollution indicators. They are pollution indicators. If there is more pollution in a city, okay, this is a particular city, so if there is more pollution, you can't see lichens there. Okay, you will find lichens only on those places which are pollution free. Clear? So that's why they act as a pollution indicator. The second thing is that they are used in the production of dyes. They are used in the production of dyes. How and which lichens? I'll give you the example, Rossella. This particular lichen, they are used in the production of the litmus, which is used in the chemistry lab to check the pH. And you know it very well that litmus paper is used to check the pH, whether it is acidic or basic. So lichens, they are used in the production of dyes. Example, Rossella. Number three, like I told you about the dyes, example is Rossella. Number three is they are used in the perfume productions. Example is Ramalina. Ramalina is a lichen which is used for the production of perfumes. Clear? Number fourth, these lichens, especially Usnea. This is a lichen which secrete usnic acid which has antimicrobial property. Antimicrobial property. Clear? So these are some importance of the lichens. Clear? And they are also, I'll write it here, they are also pioneer organism. Okay? In this succession, they inhabit the first bared rock, so the succession begins. So these are the first organism to occupy the environment in the succession. Clear? Now the next topic is mycorrhiza. I told you the next topic is mycorrhiza. So mycorrhiza, since we are talking about the symbiotic association, this is the next symbiotic association between mycorrhiza means, myco means fungi and rhiza means root of higher plants. Roots of higher plants. So you know it very well that these two terms are interlinked in this case. How? Because this is the symbiotic association of the fungi with the roots of the higher plants. Roots, you know it very well that leaves of a plant prepare their own food and it is being supplied by the process of the translocation to the roots. So roots, from the roots, the fungi will get automatic prepared food, and from the fungi, like fungi have absorptive mode of nutrition, so fungi absorb the nutrients and give it to the roots of the plant. So this is how they are interlinked and help each other for their nourishment and the requirements. So the mycorrhiza of two types, one is endomycorrhiza and the other one is ectomycorrhiza. So endo means inside and ecto means outside. So from the term you must be knowing that those mycorrhiza which is present inside the roots of the plant are said to be endomycorrhizae, and those which resides outside the root of the plant are said to be ectomycorrhizae. So you can say that there are hyphae present inside the cortex region of the root, and here in this case the hyphae of the fungi present outside the surface of the roots. Clear? So this is how this is what about the mycorrhiza. Okay? And what is the importance of the mycorrhiza is that importance. Since mycorrhiza is the association I told you about the fungi and the higher plants, so these fungi which are associated with the roots of higher plant, they absorb the nutrients and provide to the plant roots. So this is one of the importance. And the second one is that they protect the roots of the higher plants from the pathogen or invaders. Clear? So that's all about the importance of the mycorrhiza. In the next class, we will discuss about the various viruses and the viroids and the prions. Clear? Of the chapter 2. So that's all for today. Thank you so much.